I should be too.
There we go. All right. So, last week, we resolved some issues that were going on in those back alleys of the city of Diastov. What was a party member following someone throughout the city streets ended up with that party member getting uh, followed themselves, resulting in a bit of an ambush that went slightly awry. Afterwards, the party reconvened, had a short bit of their rest before it was interrupted one more time by a young tiefling by the name of Luck, who was carving a sigil into the side of the building that they were staying in. About halfway through, closer to being done, he was stopped by Yotev and Killian, interrogated as to what he was doing, and promptly stopped from continuing his defacement of the side of the building. As a result, the party had some heated conversation with him, resulting in him giving a little bit more information about the people that had hired him. One of which you got the name of was a half-orc named Kren. You eventually found Kren in the city street after using the small child as bait. Trap being sprung, Kren did manage to get away thanks to a mixture of Longstrider cast on him earlier that day and Spider Climb, as well as wild shaping into a raven to fly off. And though he did technically get away, he taunted Yotev by flying in a large circle over where he was staying. The party followed, found him in his warehouse, and quickly dispatched of him. Once that was over, Kenji had absorbed the soul, and the rest of the party went off to finish their long rest. The fortunate part of this entire interaction is that one of the two individuals that was hunting Yotev was caught. The unfortunate part is that they did have a partner that later found and seemingly abducted one Yotev off of the early morning streets of Diastok. So, with that, the rest of the party, you've just finished a long rest. You are still in the Rose Nestle Inn. As you're waking up and stirring, you notice as the morning kind of goes on that Yotev had left pretty early, off to go do some things, and he probably warned some of you, especially Killian, that he was going to go do this, but he hasn't returned. So I turn it over to you. What would you like to do this morning?
How long has it been since Yotev has left?
At this point, probably about an hour.
Are we all together?
He's taking too long. Are we all together by this point?
That's up to you.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. There you go.
I think I would have gone down to any place we all would have or they all would have gotten together to eat and see if Yotev has come back.
You make your way down. You see a couple of your party members around. I don't know if Cassandra's made her way back to the inn yet from her
I will.
10. Okay.
Yeah.
You do see the rest of your party scattered amongst the tables or the bar or together on one side. But as you give a quick glance around, you don't see any sign of Yotev among them.
Where is Yotev?
If it's only been about an hour, I would be downstairs, but I'm probably still writing the letter that I briefly mentioned last time. And when you ask that question, I will probably look up and It's probably the first time I realized that he's not here with us.
He stays with you.
He has not returned yet.
Did he say where he was going?
To take care of a few things.
All right, what's that mean?
How long does that take?
Killian's gonna go ahead and try to use his earrings of message to see if he can get a response from Yotev.
You send it out, and it's rare that this happens because the range on them is pretty impressive. This is the first time in a long time that you've attempted to use the earring and gotten no response back.
He is not responding to my summoning.
Do you want me to cast a sending spell? Maybe he's got farther away than the earring can go?
Killian will nod his head.
I'll cast sending and... Wait, I do have sending on there, right? Oh, hold on.
We do not. We established this last time. So
You're right. You're right. I don't have sending. You're just kidding. Scratch that. I forgot again that I don't have access to that spell.
Sun is just like, hey, Yotev.
I can offer to go do a reading in the tent and see if I can figure out what happened. I'll do that instead of offering sending.
While you do that, Killian will ask the barkeep if they've seen our goblin friend.
I'll go put my tent up in one of the rooms.
Sure. You see that there is a early 20s red-headed half elf behind the bar. If with any interactions you would have known that his name was Talon. And he sort of looks up at you and puts like a couple of mugs of coffee down next to two of the other people in the bar and says, your friend, I think I saw, at least I assume it was him, saw him leave this morning, hood up and everything, sort of heading out. I actually think he sort of paused for a minute. It's been about 45 minutes or an hour ago that he left. Haven't seen him come back though.
Is that a long time to be gone?
Depends on the person, I guess. Do you want me to leave a message for him? Or would you like to leave a message for him?
Are we leaving without him?
Well, I don't know if we don't know that he's gone, right? I mean,
So say, like, how far are we from some of the other places walking distance? Like, what's it called? The
Darrington
the
Brigade?
Darrington Brigade. Like, how far would that be to walk? Would it be pretty reasonable for him to have gone there and just not be back yet?
Takes about 15 minutes.
Remind me, DM, did he state where he was going?
I'm pretty sure he didn't, especially since when he was describing what he was doing, he was being discreet, even when it was tabletop, like above board.
I don't remember him saying anything about where he was going.
I think to go take care of some things is probably the correct terminology.
Did those things include Darrington? Darrington?
We should check the brigade.
Maybe he's still there.
We are leaving with him. We should find him. Killian will just start gathering his belongings, getting ready to go to the brigade, try to find his friend.
Cassandra, did you want to do a reading about it?
Well, yes, please. I'll use my reading for the day on Yotev. That's fine.
Use your what?
I get one reading a
Reading.
day.
Oh.
You set up your table, begin the ritual of this reading, and as you do, you lay out the first card of your morning reading, and as you do, you see it is an image that depicts a wanderer. This can refer to an individual. This can refer to your emotional stance or state of being. But in this, you sort of draw out visions from it, and what you see is a young, or not young, a rather old-looking goblin man that with this sort of mechanical armor that you can tell even from a distance is supposed to depict Yotev. You pull out this second card, and as you do, it shows what appears to be a hunter of sorts, middle of the woods, and the emotions and and images that it evokes is less of a that Yotev is the hunter, and rather that something is hunting Yotev. This imagery of someone stalking and attempting to track prey. As you flip over the last card, you see it is a massive, beautiful depiction of a dragon. Wings unfurled mid-flight, an almost resplendent imagery of this draconic form. And though the card is a golden dragon, the imagery that you see as a part of the ritual of this spell, you see a white dragon, wings unfurled, and you see one of its taloned hands as a singular finger strikes the goblin in the imagery for before, and that goblin falls. And that as this imagery finishes, you get this overarching narrative, this idea of Yotev was hunted and captured by whatever that white dragon represents.
Cool. I'll go back downstairs and tell the boys. Oh, pretty sure, pretty confident. Yotev's been taken. So there's that. So we can go to the brigade if we want, but he's not going to be there.
How can we find him?
Well, anybody know what a white dragon would mean?
Can't your cards tell us that? Oh wait, I guess I can't talk to you still.
It's true.
Well, you can talk. You just can't talk in her head.
Well, I can't talk. I can't talk in general right now. All I do
Yeah,
is
Really?
telepathy. Yeah, all I use is telepathy right now. Don't shut me out, Killian, please. You're all I have
Yeah.
left to my friend now.
What
What are you talking about?
Your mouth does not move, and that is creepy.
It's only 10 episodes in. We're just
What are you talking about?
I think Killian's not going to say a word. He's just going to start heading off towards the brigade.
I'll follow Killian.
All right, I'll
Anyone
follow.
not following?
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna be small forms though, because I'm still, you know.
Hmm?
You know?
I
You know.
will.
You shrink down and
Quickly.
begin to fly over.
I will quickly finish up my letter and then as described last time, kind of hold it for a second, and then burn it away and follow everyone else.
You as you quickly burn it away, there's a brief moment where the Talon, the barkeep, sort of looks up and sees you lighting a fire in the middle of his tavern, and then starts to like freak out until you like wipe out the rest of the flame with just a wave of your hand. Sort of, please don't do that in here. Anywhere else. And not your room either. But you and the rest of the party make your way out of the inn and head towards the brigade. Killian, with urgency in your step, you make your way in the direction of the brigade, and you actually get there a little bit ahead of the others, considering you are walking with a purpose. As you get there, you see two things pique your interest immediately. The first is that a lot of the members of the brigade are actually currently outside in this large circle in the middle. You see a large ogre with what looks to be less of a club and more of just a log that he has found. He has planted it on the ground and is leaning on it pretty heavily. There is a human man with what looks like the pelt of an owl bear thrown over his body. And both Sir Tyrion Darrington and Lawrence are outside with them, having a conversation. The second thing that you notice is a good 10 feet away from them, you see that there are other members of the brigade who are currently talking with and attempting to console three people that you've met a little while ago. You see a blue tiefling man. You see a blonde-haired bard and a thin, bookish, arcane type, all standing with a halfling man with like the most insane getup that you've seen thus far, as they are wearing what looks to be like pelts and animal bones and just this massive gnarled staff with like a bunch of what look to be like rib bones that he is sort of waving around as he speaks, gesturing wildly, and so it sounds like this massive bone wind chime as he's talking with them, and he is in the midst of what looks to be casting some kind of spell on their behalf. You would recognize the tiefling and the two others as Azure, Virgil, and Doug, who you were competing against on your first day as a group.
And
Doug.
Doug? Yeah.
Doug.
Just
Doug.
Azure,
Doug,
Virgil,
Doug.
and Doug.
And Doug.
And Doug.
Dougie Doug.
I would take note of all the faces here, but I would go immediately to Tyrion Darrington, just mid-conversation, just walk up to him and just stare at him until he acknowledges my presence.
You walk up, and he's in the middle of he's fully mid-sentence, and is saying, and if you don't mind taking the eastern side, putting up on every street corner as you find, I can, Killian, good morning. Is there something I could help you with?
Did Yotev stop by today?
No, he is not. Should I have been expecting him this morning?
He has not returned. We are looking for him.
Another person's gone missing.
Killian won't say anything else and just wait for his group to arrive to let him know that he's not there.
Yeah,
Uh,
the others are very close behind. You see Tyrion turn to Lawrence and say, if you don't mind, we need another run-up of posters. He sort of stops himself. Actually, I don't think Yotev putting up posters of him would be wise.
I'm gonna ask why.
We know
Yeah.
Yotev.
Oh yeah, that's true. You don't tell us. You're right. You're right. You're right.
As we're walking up, I'll look
Mm.
to Varnex and be like, the outfit there looks really familiar. I think I've seen it before from where I'm from, but I can't put a finger on it. The one with like
Which
all the
one?
bones and stuff.
I'll relay that to the party.
And also, as we're on our way up, with Kelly going a little ahead, assuming Yotev might have also followed this path, I'm gonna just try to keep my eyes out for any signs that he might have been through here.
Yeah, make a perception check for me.
Yes.
Let's see.
Teams.
It's a 16.
16. You don't see any obvious signs as you're walking throughout the street. However, as you get near the Darrington Brigade, you notice what looks to be a bit of shattered glass, and you kind of just catch it glinting in the light off to one side. As you take a closer look at it, it looks like there's something metal that has been discarded off the side of the road. That's sort of just been hastily hidden here, out of the way.
I'll go over to look at that as everyone else starts talking to the brigade.
You make your way over. You pull it out, and this is outside the brigade's walls. Maybe a good 50 or 60 feet away down the road. As you reach into this bush and pull out what looks to be a specialized armored gauntlet that has a focusing lens that has been shattered in the center of the palm, and it looks very similar to the gauntlets that Yotev used to generate thunderous power as he punched.
I'll start bringing it back towards everyone else.
As the rest of you come in, Tyrion sort of excuses himself from the group that he was currently talking with and comes over to meet all of you and says, I've heard the news. Is everyone else alright?
Everyone's here, right?
Mhm.
Do we not look all right? Are you blind?
There's more than just, are you physically alright? There's emotion, there's mental, there's, if you're concerned he got taken, by the fact that he hasn't shown up, and it seems like you're aware of his situation, then there's more than the physical that I'm concerned about. Is what happened?
What does mentally alright entail?
You don't check that box.
You don't hear
Just
anything.
sort of,
I know.
are you like in distress or free? Like, mentally would be more of like a freaking out because your friend got captured, sort of a thing, potentially.
Noted.
What do you know about the fingers or these people with the dragon emblem?
He, do you happen to have one of the dragon emblems on you, or anything that looks like it? Someone could produce a drawing or something.
We have a white dragon token.
Do we actually have one?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
Who has it?
No, we don't. Yotev looted everything, kept all the gold and everything.
Oh my
So-
god.
No,
Okay, so-
we don't. I don't even know that we know that we have that.
No, we don't even have 40 platinum anymore.
I don't even
Why
know
you
that we
don't
know
let
that he
him do
grabbed it.
anything.
Convenient.
He would have told us about the emblem, right? Like, or the people, and they're like Yotev would have told everybody in the party about them, right? I'm pretty sure he did.
Katana asked if he had any money on him.
He said that he had people after him, but not who.
But we had the tiefling described that in when you guys were interrogating him. I'm pretty sure. Because that's what he had stolen in the first place to get ripped into it.
I was wondering if Killian would have had enough information to try to sketch one out.
Absolutely. If you like to try.
Sure. Will there be a
Roll
performance?
either.
I was gonna say,
Performance?
here comes a roll.
Yeah, roll a performance check.
Okay. 19.
Yo.
Okay. I don't know if Killian expected to be any good at this, but you pull out a piece of paper and you start sketching, and it's actually very well detailed to the point where you've got the grooves in it exactly how it would have appeared on the armor that you saw. So you can see even around the dragon, it's outlined with the sort of marked off sections of leather armor. So it has that sort of detail all around the thing. And Tyrion sort of takes the paper, looks at it, looks up at you, looks back at it, a little impressed of oh shit. Okay. Lawrence comes over and says, have you seen this before? He takes it, stares at it for a moment, and says, the Mordoon shipment had this on the side of it. At least one of the crates did. Dune. That is unfortunate. Do you know what it is? Lawrence looks down at it and back up at you all and says, I'm not entirely certain I know anything about this group, but I could look into it for you. And Tyrion could contact you with more information as I find it, but I can tell you what I do know. At the very least, some of the more senior members of the brigade, we had them sent on a mission recently. Maybe 2 months ago, something like that. They were supposed to protect a caravan. Some special shipment for the a special shipment on its way to Rexentrum. That shipment was attacked, and while they were able to fend off the majority of the individuals that attempted to steal things from it, the group seemed particularly interested in a crate with this emblem on the side. We didn't learn what was inside the crate, but we know that it linked back to the Mordoon family. They're a less than reputable family up in Shady Creek Run to the far northeast.
When you said like they had an interest in it, do you mean the people who were carrying it had an interest, or the people who stole the shipment had an interest in that emblem?
According to the brigade members that were on the job, the thieves specifically were targeting that crate.
Do we know anything about the thieves?
Not particularly. We know that they were of various different. They all obscured their face as best they could, so they did fully intend. Based off what we believe, they did fully intend to leave people alive as a result. Otherwise, there was no point in hiding your face. There's other small things like that, but nothing besides that was of particular interest in our report.
Who was sent to investigate?
Investigate?
Didn't you mention a group was sent to find out more? And I'm trying to recall, did you say like a group went to go find out more?
No, a group was sent to be the escorts for this
Oh, okay.
stuff.
Where is the group who escorted?
Well, Mac is over there, and he gestures, sort of points over in the direction of the halfling with like the bone staff. Buddy was along with them, gesturing to the ogre that is sort of leaning on the giant tree log, basically. And then I don't think sort of checks a side handbook that he's got. Yes, Farrowin is out at the current moment, but she'll be back hopefully in the next couple of days.
That's a pretty name.
I'll pass the compliment along when she gets here.
I'll turn back to the group. Perhaps we talk with the escorts for more information. Would Aiden have returned at this point?
So I'll show everyone the gauntlet. I guess this confirms that someone got to him. Found this over here along with some broken glass. It looked like they were trying to hide this.
I tried to tell you he wouldn't be here.
Can you show me where you found this?
Of course, no, take him over.
And I want to do any kind of investigation to see if there's anything else that was maybe left.
Sure.
Natural 16 for a 15.
Love it. Minus
You
one.
look around. You can see the same shards of glass that Aiden had found. Other than that, as you sort of search the area, it looks like, based off of your quick glancing and Aiden sort of describing how he found the gauntlet, it's less that this was carefully hidden away and more like this was thrown into a bush and it landed where it landed, almost as a means of discarding it and throwing it in a place that is going to be at least harder to find, unless of course a person with really good perception comes along and rolls well.
Whatever that could have been.
We don't have
I
any-
only rolled a 9. So.
So the you kind of get the sense of this was not a, oh, let me hide this thing here and plant it. It was definitely like a, I have this thing, I want to get rid of it, but I don't want people to find it super easily, and they just threw it into a bush. This wasn't a planned thing.
Anything else around? Signs of struggle? Any other dropped artifacts?
Looking around, there's not a lot of signs of struggle, and the unfortunate thing is this is not necessarily a major thoroughfare, but it is a thoroughfare in the city. So it is cobblestone. Any and all footprints or tracks would be basically not created on this street. You don't see any signs of blood. You don't see any like weird elements or other things that concern you. You just it just seems like a random bush on the side of the road.
Yeah,
Can't ask the bush question.
Can anybody charge the bushes?
I mean, I would just return back to the group with Aiden.
For the rest of you, while they stepped out, Tyrion very quickly says, I do apologize for the show this morning. The other adventures that you had met or previously, they've also have a missing member. They haven't found their ranger in about 24 hours now. We're helping to put up signs around the city, so if you see her at all, and he hands you a pamphlet or a piece of paper, just in case you guys spot her. If you have any information, just let us know.
Where did she go missing at?
Last they saw, they were all staying, not really in an inn, more in a residential area, near the Familiar Solutions store on the West End.
Cassandra would make this joke, but I would, about them having a solution.
It seems that one of their members is the son of the owner there.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
When this is all solved and over, we should really look into these bed and breakfasts, as it were. I feel they might be the cheaper solution going forward.
Was that to Tyrion as well, or just the group?
Letting my telepathy just kind of wander to whoever was there and just saying it.
I don't think it was sort of a B&B situation. It was definitely more of a, hey Dad, can me and my adventuring pals spend the night because inns are expensive, sort of a thing, I think.
I remember my first adventuring party. Sort of.
Okay.
Was there more?
Hmm?
Never mind.
Just musing.
Musings of a doll.
Was trying to fit in an Airbnb joke there, but surely it didn't land. It's unfortunate.
I think Killian, for the first time, is in like a couple days, is gonna go ahead and open his book, unlatch it from the holster on his back. Take a moment to really consider writing in it, but just open up a blank page and write what's next.
You open up the book, and the first page you open up to that's blank, you write down what's next, and it takes a second before a new thing of ink shows up. And it says, how kind of you to talk to me again. You still need you to claim your reward from the pixie.
I'll write in the book, I have a favor from the pixies at any time, meaning that Fey Dandelion that I have.
I'm gonna message this to you just in case you don't want to share.
Okay.
Upon seeing you write in the book again, because I assume you found it close enough that I could see, like you didn't like go off, right?
I stepped away, but I didn't hide.
She's gonna gasp very loudly and hide behind the cat more,
Oh my god.
and just kind of peek over, be like, "Killian, what are you doing?" Like whisper, yell at you, you know?
Killian will look up, but then look down at the message he just read. And I will write a response. For clarification's purpose. Sorry, I realized my stream is now looking at chat.
Sure.
I gotta do that on my phone.
I gotta do that on my phone.
He doesn't want us to see.
Well, it's just like the camera's on.
Yeah.
Do I recognize who that is? Gotcha, okay.
It's been a couple months, so
Yeah.
makes sense. Yeah.
In game, a cool 7 days.
I'll write another response in the book. And I'll see if anything is said before closing it. Any responses received. Okay. Killian will close the book, put it back in the holster, latch it tight, and look back up at Cassandra. We need to find Yotev.
No, that book's pretty scary, Killian.
Do not worry about the book. That's all I'll say about it.
She's just gonna go and hunker down because she doesn't trust it. For obvious reasons.
Should we talk to the escorts for more information? No, anybody? Any takers?
Not a one, apparently.
Alright, I'm gonna walk up to... I see that Mac is casting a spell, right? Or he was casting a spell. Does
Mhm.
Mac still look deep into conversation with what they're talking about over there?
He's deep in a conversation. Whatever spell he was casting has been completed, and he's still like talking with Azure and Virgil and Doug. In fact, at this moment, you see a little kid running up to them, the son of Virgil, sort of running up and sort of grabs his dad's leg mid conversation.
Alright, I'll approach Mac.
Hmm?
A word, if you will.
Yeah, just give me a moment, all right? He sort of turns towards you. How can I help you?
You were part of the escort, correct?
That's never been my line of work, no.
Do I get a sense he's trying to, like, hide everything from me, or...?
Make an insight check.
A natural 2, so...
Ah,
7.
Hard to read. Seems a little not all there.
Gonna walk to the ogre instead.
Okay, bye. I guess. Turns back. You see Buddy is gotten bored. He has put his knee, he's got like his knees up to his chest as he's sitting on the ground, like to be, when he sits down like this, his head is at the same height as everyone else's. And you see, you can kind of tell he does this less out of a means of wanting to sit all the time, and more of a matter of, if I sit like this, everyone's at eye level, and so they don't look up at me, and that helps with conversation. But he's obviously very much checked out of the conversation that the rest of them are having. So you walk up, he just sort of looks over at you and gives a nod.
Your name is Buddy. Is that correct?
Yes. Buddy.
Hello, Buddy. My name is Killian. Would you be able to help me?
With what?
I am looking for a friend who might be missing, and I was told you were an escort for a shipment. Is that correct?
Couple times, I think.
I heard that a shipment was stolen, and it might be connected to people who might have taken my friend. Were you part of the shipment that was stolen?
Kind of squints at you a little bit.
If you have any information that would help find my friend, I would appreciate it.
Reaches over and like very gently uses his massive fingers to pick up a piece of paper. Says, "This is your friend," and he holds up the picture of Sadie on the wanted poster, or the missing person poster.
Hold on a second. I want to see something real quick. I'm going to draw a picture of Yotev and show him and say, "This is my friend." Natural 1, let's go. A 10 for 12.
It's an above average drawing. It's not great, but it's also a quick sketch, so it was never gonna be. But you draw enough to be like, he looks at the picture. He looks at the picture on the missing person and kind of goes back and forth and says, "No." Grumples and drops the missing person's thing, and picks up yours and looks at it. Goblin?
That is my friend. He is missing, and we are looking for him.
Haven't seen him.
Do you know anything about the people who stole the shipment being escorted?
Do I know anything about the people? What shipment?
Damn it.
He's trying to help, but he's very confused.
Yeah. You said the other person that they mentioned that was escorting the shipment is not there, right?
Yeah, Farrowwind is not there.
Is that the one that's in the picture, the missing person?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
For context, the party that you had competed against, because this was a long time ago,
Mhm.
IRL, was a group. Mogaz, Azure, Sadie, Virgil's son Theo, and Doug. Mogaz died.
Mhm.
He was the one that Cassandra saw in her vision on the very first session that died. And Sadie is the one that's missing. The rest of the people that I've listed off, including Farrowin, are all members of the brigade.
Okay. But Lawrence did state that that buddy was part of the escort, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Roll a. Honestly, no roll needed. You gotta get the sense of like, so Buddy is just a little confused. Mac is also confused, but with both of them, you didn't really give. Like the big thing that got Lawrence to remember was that picture, so that might be more helpful than. If
Gotcha.
you remember that one time that you were escorting a shipment.
Okay. Well, I'll draw the picture of that emblem then and show it to Buddy. Do you remember this emblem?
Exactly. Good. The gets a little distracted because the Drake little dragon puppy box, yes.
Yes.
A dragon puppy box?
Dragon puppy box.
This box. Did someone take it?
The dragon puppy people.
The people had the same picture on them?
No. The people. The box we had, the people had dragon puppies, rode on them, attacked us, and took the box.
What is a dragon puppy?
How difficult is this conversation? Like, does it feel painful to watch?
About as painful as it is for you, Fragan, the person, yes.
Okay. Can I, if I go over there, can I stumble over, kind of like fall over and look up at this thing, and then cast Detect Thoughts?
Sure.
Oh,
And then
wow.
I will use a. It'll be a different form of telepathy, but anything I get, I'll just immediately send over to things, so he can ask the questions. He can get better picture of whatever they're talking about.
Okay.
Thank you.
Because this seems wild.
Buddy's trying really hard.
I know, and I appreciate that he's trying, but we can do better. I feel like we can get there.
What's your first question?
So Killian, you ask, and then.
Oh,
I'm
okay,
gonna-
gotcha.
Yeah. And I'll push any information that he sees in his mind to you.
What did the dragon puppies look like?
He starts to describe them, and it's interesting in most of the people's minds that you've seen,
Don't do this.
Kenji, when you look into it, you get like through their eyes what they remember. When you look into Buddy's, it looks like a crayon drawing instead of the regular like image. So you see what looks like a crayon drawing of these multicolored they have 4 legs, a long tail off the back, covered in scales with a large snout, and they come in multiple different colors. Make an intelligence check, both of you. Or a nature check for both of you.
4.
15
So
plus
good.
5 for dirty 20.
With the 4, you're this makes a lot of sense because what's really happening is you're playing mental telephone. The first thing that is being shown is a crayon drawing. The second thing is a verbal description of a crayon drawing, which is a lot harder to understand. So for Killian, this is way out there. For Kenji, it looks almost like he's talking about or trying to impress on you the idea of a drake, like a guard drake almost. This is like some sort of draconic creature with no wings, but like runs on all fours and is often used as like a mount instead of like a horse.
I will
So
relay
that's
that
fine.
to Killian.
Of the
So
lizard thing.
with a dirty 20, can I also tell the type of crayons he's using?
The type of crayons?
Yeah. Are they like Crayola? Or are we going off brand here?
They are off-brand
Mm.
Oh
crayons. They are like, instead of being like under the Crayola banner, it would be like color wax artist supplies. It would be like the technical name for it.
Like the store
Only-
brand.
Yeah, only artists use.
No.
Crayola,
It's
so
it's the crap crayons you get at a restaurant that don't even color properly.
Yeah,
They just
it's
leave
got,
wax
like, the-
smudges.
Yeah, it's got this special like restaurant wrapping paper around it, so it has like the restaurant's name on it because they're trying to be cute and all.
can I?
They're the big fatties because he's an ogre.
I feel like he is quite simple, and I want to see if pushing in further will actually just give me visions through his eyes going forward.
Sure. You look up Buddy's stat block.
This motherfucker pulls me out, dude. I don't even know what I'm gonna do with my life.
What kind of save is it?
It is a wisdom. Surely not wise, right?
That's an 8.
Love it. We're going in deep. I want to just look at his eyes for whatever these questions are going forward.
What are you trying to delve deeper on? Just
The encounter, anything that he might have missed, any questions that we heard them talking about before, that maybe there were some missed details on, that we could have seen through his eyes that maybe he missed.
Yeah,
Anything that
so
stands out
you-
around that emblem or those particular people as well.
you push in, and what you see is,
Fluffy clouds.
Dude, if
Right.
you give me a crayon drawing of his goddamn life, I don't even know what to do.
it is a, it evolves to a colored pencil drawing.
Oh, sweet fuck.
You
That's great.
see it's a much better pencil drawing. You see this image of him holding some massive log as he's walking behind a caravan. You see the caravan is making its way towards the city of Rexentrum, and you hear on the shoulder the same guy that's across the yard from you, the halfling with the stick with like the rib bones on it leans forward on the ogre's shoulder, and you can actually see as he looks over, there's some sort of contraption on his back for the halfling to stand on. It seems like these two always partner up. And the halfling says, the halfling says, sort of whispers in his ear, says, "Don't be alarmed. Someone's coming up behind us. All right, buddy." And buddy just sort of nods, and the halfling begins to cast a spell, as the ogre keeps sort of just walking in a straight line, pretending like nothing's happening. All of a sudden, you hear a. Do you understand halfling?
No.
You hear Mac say something, and Buddy immediately whips around and just chucks the log like it's a javelin, and slams into the side of this green guard drake with what looks to be a half elf on its back. The half elf, the log basically hits the side of the drake. The drake buckles, but where on the side of the drake is where the halfling's leg was for the saddle. So you hear the bones crack as it gets impaled, and the guy starts screaming in pain as more drakes come over the side. There seems to be 5 or 6 of them. And as you're sort of looking into this guy's memory of it, you can see that some of the images start to get a little fuzzy as little bits of the memory aren't quite fully there anymore. It's been a couple of months and some details sort of got forgotten. But for the most part, you see that there are these individuals on the backs of these guard drakes, most of which are most of the guard drakes are all in a variety of colors, but they're being ridden on by half orc, and a half elf was the one that got hit. There's like a tiefling on another. There's a dragonborn on another. There's what looks like a human on another. So it's all kinds of different. It's not one uniform bandit, but they all sort of rush over the side of the hill, and a battle starts to go through. And you see, basically from his perspective, the swinging of massive limbs and slamming into stuff. But as the smoke sort of dissipates, you see that he looks back, and one of the carts on the caravan has been entirely toppled over, and a box is gone. And that's about all you get from that push in.
When I'm relaying that to Killian, did you have paper, Killian?
Yeah, from earlier when I drew an image of Yotib, I could choose like the backside of that.
Yeah. Can I use that to grab facial features or write down in common the races and like what like defining features of some of these people were? And does the half orc and the half elf look like the people that we saw before?
The image is not that clear. This was a very quick encounter from someone who isn't the brightest and who's because of the length of time, the memory has faded. So if you think about 2 months ago, you were in a grocery store or a restaurant or something like that, and you had a waiter or you had the cashier at the checking you out. How well do you actually remember what they look like?
You had me at wait, if you think back, so we're good.
Sure.
Living in the
So
now.
the facial stuff is a bit of a blur as far as how accurate it is. It might have been, but you don't have any method of knowing.
Okay.
Roll an intelligence check, both of you actually.
Would he at least know that it was the people that ambushed him in the alley and it was the person that we just offed in the warehouse?
No.
Okay.
13
So not even that clear.
13 plus 2.
16.
And 16. Both of you do kind of have that thought of, oh, it could be them, but you both stop yourself a little short. The thing that had the emblem was the crate. If the crate is marked with their emblem, why would they be stealing it? And you both just have that thought.
Are they stealing it back? Or was it marked to be stolen like we were going to be marked at the inn? Hmm. I mean, I guess I'll relay that back to the rest of the party as well.
Mhm.
So Cassandra, Aiden, and Varnax know what we've been talking with Buddy.
Sorry, Killian, I couldn't do better. Crayon and pencil seems to be the best that this.
I
thing
appreciate
can
your
offer.
help. Yeah, remember, Killian's not a very intelligent person either, so.
Sometimes you get in your mind to see if it's pencil too.
For context, Buddy has an intelligence of 5.
Yeah. That's
So I
what
picked the right person to talk to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did such a good job.
I mean,
And
it just
I'm-
seemed like an open thing to do. Like, he would be less resistant than talking to the skittish kind of Mac over there, so. Could I ask Darrington about the creatures to see if we could figure out where they might have come from?
Yeah. You head over back to Tarion. And there is a you ask about the these creatures, and Tyrion sort of thinks of I don't personally know of many groups that have access to these creatures, let alone that would be able to tame them as riders. That's relatively rare. Do you have any idea as to who might be? I guess this was the group that ambushed, so they'd be on the eastern side of. It's far to the south, but I know there's that the former city or former citizens of Draconia used to use these sorts of creatures in their guard and their armies. I think a lot of Dragonborn have ended up in Tallenstadt after Draconia dropped. It's pretty far east, but it's also much further south of where the attack happened. I'm not quite sure. For reference, the shipment was leaving from Blade Garden by way of the Ashgard garrison and making its way to Rexentrum. Or rather, leaving from the Ashgard garrison by way of Blade Garden to Rexentrum. That would be the correct way to say that. For the most part, when according to the report, whenever it was being unloaded, it had mostly small goods, nothing too interesting or important.
Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm having some internet issues again.
I think it's just the music cutting out.
Yeah, it is.
The what coming out?
The music is
The
cutting
music
out.
is cutting out.
Oh yeah.
I don't hear the music, so
I have to watch the stream to hear it. Okay.
I'll turn to the rest of the group and say, where should we head first to find Yotev?
Wherever the dragon people are would be the best bet there who took him.
We don't know where that group would be just because they were writing those doesn't mean they're from a specific place.
I don't know.
You said the shipment was from Mordoon?
Yes.
The shipment was supposedly connected to the Mordoon family. Yes.
Maybe that family can tell us about these people who might have taken it. And they're based in Shady Creek Run, right?
Yes.
I need to pull up a map. Shady Creek Run would be like days away, right?
It would be.
Yeah, I'm down to go to Shady Creek Run, try to find out more, but that's far away, unless there's more to look for here.
Shady Creek Run sounds like a old song. Wolf Creek Path, way up on the Great Divide, trucking on down.
Aiden, what do you think?
I'm down with whatever.
Sure.
Will there be blood and violence? I'm down. I think we need to find this group and just kill them. Kill them all.
I'm okay with that.
Whatever you choose, I'm down with. I'm currently reveling in the screams that I'm still hearing in his head.
And we asked Darrington if there's anything that we should know before we go out there about Shady Creek.
Has anybody asked Darrington about the fingers? Does he know anything about the fingers?
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't.
Shady Creek is well, firstly, it's outside of the Empire. It's in an area known as the Graying Wildlands, to the north of the Empire. It's a bit wild when it comes to it's wild and lawless a little bit. It's sort of run by powerful families as opposed to like a regimented guard or a governorship. It's where people are free to become entrepreneurs and go into more of the unfortunate elements of society.
This sounds like our type of thing, Varnax. We should go.
I'm down.
That's concerning to hear. The people there are typically assigned to or work for one of the four families. Mardoon is one that that I've let you know about, but I'm gonna add this as well. There's the Mardoons. There are the Jagantoths. The Utalot and the Trebane. They're each sort of specializes in its own thing, and they sort of have warned each other to not step on their turf, but they do all the time, so it's sort of a ongoing war between these four. So it's not the most hospitable of places. I wouldn't recommend it if it wasn't absolutely necessary, and it sort of sounds like it might be.
Well, I'm ready to go if it means we can find our friend.
I'm ready.
I'm
I
good.
wanna go over to the other adventuring group,
Mhm.
like Virgil and them, and see if they know anything about the fingers. Since one of their party members also disappeared, see if they know if there's a reason they would have gone after them.
Does anyone else have something that they are wanting to do before? While I look this up.
No,
I
I'm
don't think
good.
so.
Or Virgil's,
Can I turn inward and just see if there's anything that maybe I'm missing before we need to go? Any feelings that I might get?
You approach the others and you see that Azure is sort of he's not standing still. He's sort of like pacing a bit, like agitated, angry. He seems the type to want to be out there doing something, and is frustrated that he's stuck here doing nothing, or at least what feels like nothing to him. So you approach Virgil and you ask about these fingers. Dang. And he lets you know that I'm not super familiar with them in general, but I do know. I know of a guy that
I know a guy.
claims to have had run-ins with them in the past. Maybe he could help you.
Where would we find him?
He, I think, currently lives in Zadash. Yeah, he's a bit of a strange sort. He's a Aarakocra. Yeah, honestly, cannot miss him. Full peacock of a person, not in both sense. Both very flamboyant and also a literal peacock. He runs in. Sort of glances down at his young kid and looks back up at you. Adult pleasure bar, is how I'll put it. Referred to as the sleight of hand.
Appropriate. Is your thing working? Or
The
is it
music
broken?
should be back on, yeah. But it has cut out a couple times, so apologize.
No, you're good. I don't even see it shared right now.
Was it not? Oh, I didn't share it again.
Oh, God.
Pro streamers right here, guys. I'm not done.
Do you have an iPhone? Or is it Android?
Android. There you go.
Stinky has minimized their application. Sit tight.
There you go.
Glorious. Oh. An adult pleasure bar. I don't think I've ever been to one of those.
I wish I could tell you more, but it's about all I know. Just a fair warning, he's a bit of a he's not the most helpful of people. You would likely expect something if he's going to give you information. It's one of those types.
Pleasure, I would assume, based on the name of the place that he owns.
That's his name, is Arenas. If you do run into him, give him my regards. It's been a while since we've had a conversation, but hopefully we're still in on good terms. It was a bit up in the air the last time I spoke to him.
You too. So, I don't have a but Zadash is like kind of on the way to Shady Creek Line, isn't it?
Yeah, it really depends on what path you go. But from Diastock, if you're taking the main roads, you really only have the option of going north to Kamorda or eastward heading towards Zadash. And then from Zadash, you can either go the northern route through Rexentrum and Nagvarot, or you can go the western route, which will take you past Blade Garden, Hubberduke, and then up.
If we go through Zadash, we can see my family. Actually do that for once, unlike last time.
I'm planning on a TPK, don't worry.
No.
Third character, same backstory, because we don't get into Lady Brittany stuff.
I mean, I would, 100%.
I know.
Just save myself and Caleb time, yes. 100%. With zero cares. Y'all can judge me if you want, but you don't know nothing about me, so.
True.
Be helpful if somebody opened up, but we're not going to revisit that again. It's fine.
All right.
I'll go wherever Killian goes to help find Yotev.
We can take a trek through to see your family on the way.
We don't have to, but it would be a free place to stay for the night.
Let's do it.
All right.
Really? Go through Zadash? Oh my god, I'm so excited out of character.
I would
Are
like to
y'all
drop.
leaving immediately, or is there anything you want to do before you go?
Did we want to go see the Fae again? Was that something?
Yeah, we should probably say goodbye to them. That'd be a smart idea.
I thought Killian had a reason he wanted to go see them again.
He's got them.
I do.
Alright. So, one quick stop into the forest, and then off to Zadash. Got it.
Out of character. So excited.
You all find yourself back for like the 4th or 5th time heading from the city into the forest. And as you do, you follow a familiar trek that you've taken a couple of times before, eventually stumbling into, after about a day's walking, or half a day's walking, into the glade where you had found the members of the trio of groups, the pixies, the sprites, and the quicklings. As you approach, you see that there are no quicklings left. They've all either been taken care of or they have escaped ever since the ambush that was set up at the lumberyard. You all are welcomed back by a group of these small winged fey creatures as they all basically swarm around you. And as they break, or as they sort of swarm you, they break as Tarragon, the older sprite leader, and Lorella both make their way forward. Tarragon says, we have heard and felt that the Darklings have retreated back to the Fae. According to some of our kin on the other side, they've retreated even from that side of the portal as a result of their failure to eradicate our groups here on the material side. We thank you greatly for your sacrifice and your assistance in this matter. Lorella sort of flies up next to him and says, it is with great sincerity that I would thank you for your